But I have an even better surprise for you. And you're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
All right. We did it. We finally got ourselves a Pump It Up. We got some of the pads. Got the headstock. Here's the rails over there. The topper's out in the garage. So our job today is to take a look at this thing, get it going. We just got it here. So we had a minor issue with this game. Well, I guess let's talk about it first. So Pump It Up's basically DDR, but not. There, talked about it. We had no issues picking it up. The previous owner came into it because somebody had cut the wires on the pads. Might need a new hose here, but they cut them. They cut them. Here's the other end of that connector. They cut them. How much you want to bet there's plugs in here? 4 bolts. They cut it. Previous owner had it transported from some sort of children's place, and the people who moved it for him decided to cut all of the wires. Yeah. Which honestly, that's okay. I probably wouldn't have been able to buy it for the price I did if that did not happen. I can fix that. So that was the previous owner's major issue with it, was someone just cut it apart instead of disconnecting it like a normal person. So far, the only problem I had with it was when we were unloading the truck. We had it about 70% out of the way out of the truck, and the back here fell off and onto the ground, and the computer fell out and onto the ground, except it was still plugged in. So it just like puked its guts out while we got a 300-pound game, just like, uh-oh. We couldn't put it down. We couldn't put it back. It was ridiculous. It was not a fun time. But we're here now. We got it. We're gonna try putting this thing back together. It's the only issue we had moving it. Aside from it was an hour away and many hundreds of pounds, so I haven't looked anything about this yet. I don't know any of the history. We got a note here that says make sure power supply voltage select switch is set properly before applying power.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
Flip that now. He claimed it worked. We'll find out here soon. Should be able to test everything without it. So we have a couple of connectors here. Let's see, what do we got? Gas tube. Oh, that's okay. So we got some neons. We got a giant ISO transformer. This game used to have a 32-inch, 33-inch, something or other tube in it. Yeah, there's a good chance. When the computer puked its guts out, it was dangling by a couple of the cables. This was one of them. So there's a pretty good chance I managed to bust this VGA adapter here, which is fine. It's just a 90-degree adapter. I don't really need it. I can get another one. We got a connector that's almost a JAMA connector. Oh, which way did this go? Well, I got one burnt trace. Okay. And a wire there that no longer exists. Oh, hey, there's that. Oh, there's that. Okay. Somebody already bypassed that with a little connector. That's fine. Alright, let's see. So if that burnt trace is supposed to match to that one, I would believe it goes there then. Oh man, this thing isn't keyed. Oh, look at that. You can see that. This is a little board. I don't think this is factory. It can go there. It can go there. It can go there. It can go there. We're gonna put it over here because that's right where that burnt trace is. And then this must be the little fix somebody made for it, which that's okay. And we got 3 connectors. Let's see. Here, let me take you off my chest here. Let's see. We got a broken 3.5mm jack. Yep, that's where that was plugged in. Ask me how I know. Oh man, that's probably messed up. All right, power in. Here is a VGA cable, a power cord. I'm willing to bet that, let's see, the factory VGA is probably not the one that was plugged in. We're gonna go grab some screwdrivers. So, we're gonna go ahead and, oh man, we're just gonna unscrew this adapter here. I have almost certainly buggered it. Okay. Model AM something whatever, made in Korea. It's original. Cool. Oh, this game is Korean, by the way, if you didn't know. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Well, that looks great. Honestly, it's probably fine, but I'm trying this thing for the first time. I don't want to find out the hard way. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and go straight for this modern VGA cable, which is, I'd imagine, the one ran up to the LCD monitor that's in there. Just going to make a guess. If I'm wrong, it's not going to hurt nothing. We got red, and we got yellow. So I'd imagine red is red and yellow is white. I would think. Okay, there it goes there. Well, so that would have pulled straight out. That didn't hurt anything. That looks like our main volume control. Yeah, that's definitely our volume control for the game. Up front there. I've actually never worked on one of these, by the way. I have no idea what the hardware in these look like. Why did I grab the long screwdriver? It's alright, it fits. I just want to understand it before I do anything to it. One thing I will say is anytime you have a new game, first off, I don't recommend it. Second, never, ever, ever blow the dust out of it before you've tested it. There's probably some exceptions to that, but the reason why is because you can actually mess up a lot of stuff by blowing the dust out of something. Disconnecting things, reconnecting stuff. And if you don't have a known working state to go off of for diagnostics, it can get really complicated. Let's read this note out loud too. It says burnt bridge connector, burnt trace on card. It's probably that. Not worried about that. Okay, so this computer hasn't been cleaned out in a while. Normally when something's this dusty, it was probably working when they shut it off, honestly. So we got Pump It Up Zero. It's the right hard. It's the original hard drive. Definitely going to want to make a clone of that at some point. 1 stick of RAM. Cool. Out of 2. So that, if the computer doesn't boot, that's my #1 thing I check is the RAM. And then we got all this I/O here. When it comes inside, is actually, what is it? We got power coming from the computer power supply through these ribbons into a PCI card. So that means all this I/O is ran off of a proprietary PCI card. Well, good thing it's running Linux, I guess. We also have, I'm glad to see this, I can almost promise you that's a security dongle. That little USB key right there is required for this game to boot. Without it, you're not allowed to play the game. Quad core, yeah, it's Core 2 Duo, Core 2 Quad, DDR2. Okay, this is like a bone stock motherboard. I don't know if it needs to be this gigabyte motherboard, custom BIOS or nothing, but hopefully it doesn't. I don't think it does. I know there's a large community of Pump It Up players that like I figured out how to make most of this stuff run otherwise. This here, what does this even do? This is probably the amp for the speakers. Yeah, that's the amp. I think we're ready to find a power cord and power this thing up. Okay, we're back. We are going to make an attempt here. See what happens. Power switch off. Oh, jeez.
Isn't that the better one than the Giants or no? Are you okay, Gary?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just...
Making sure you're alright. No problem.
Yeah, I'm totally fine. I just realized what I didn't learn about this. I'll be able to fix it. I just blew something up, but it's a normal part I just blew up. So this is cool. I just learned something. We learned something together. There's a big spark out of there. Make sure power supply voltage select switch is set properly before applying power. This is a very ambiguous label because it is immediately obvious to me this is not an isolation transformer. Input 110, output 220. This game runs at 220. It was correct before I touched it. Apparently correct means to, they could have just wrote 240 on there. Why didn't they just write make sure power supply voltage is set to 240 before applying power? Why leave it ambiguous? See, I thought the last guy messed it up. Well, okay, so I immediately blew the power supply in the game. Like, literally the first thing I did. I guess I'm gonna go find a power supply. Okay, so we're back in my workshop. And we need to try to bench test this guy. The known working power supply. Hey look, known working power supply. This card here, the one that I previously thought was a PCI card, is actually just a PCI shaped card. Yeah, arcades are weird. Where did a screw go for that? Let's put a screw back in it. It's a USB card. Or rather, it's a USB cord. Well, interface board. So, why they bothered making this a board and this a board? Oh, this has the chips on it. This card here has the microcontrollers that do the I/O. These are just jumpers, and then out the back you get a USB interface, basically. And this just goes right into the motherboard. This is a working computer that we're gonna hook up this power supply to, which I know works as well. I don't have any of the modular cables for it. Good thing I don't need any for this. So we're gonna plug this one in right there. We're gonna plug this one in right over here. Oop, come on. Okay. And then we're going to find two power cords. Is there one here? Oh, here's one. Okay, we got one power cord. All right, so this is the part I'm supposed to go back to the game store and grab another power cord to test this with, because I can't power up the monitor and the game at the same time. I will not be doing this. I will be suffering like my forefathers and listen to the sounds of the computer. All right, this is my power supply. My power supply is set, and it doesn't have a setting. I'll have to remember that one. 110, 110, everything's 110, everything's fine here. Nothing should like catch on fire or nothing. Okay. On an ATX motherboard, when the power button is pressed or is set to resume on power fail, it should automatically boot up, power supply will spin. This fan should spin. If it does not, as is the case, there are a couple of reasons why. Are any of these plugged into 5-volt standby, service? All right, there's our front panel connector right in there. We have nothing plugged into it. So there is no piece of hardware present on the arcade system to boot this motherboard from cold boot. When this CMOS battery goes bad, what happens is it loses the settings. The most important of which is automatically power up when the power comes back. So, first step. He says he's only had it for 2 months and it was working when he picked it up. That means his battery would have died in the last 2 months. I don't believe that for a second. Let's see. Arcade trick for testing batteries. Deader than a doornail. So this computer wasn't going to boot up because of bad CMOS battery. Instead, we're going to reach in here, going to read the labels, and go, this one. Boop. We get fans for a split second. There we go. See that little stutter? That was the BIOS posting. That was it deciding, am I on? Yes, I'm on. Engage fan speed controller? Yes. How make fan speed go? All fan speed, please. Got it, coach. Then it runs at full chooch, which it needs to because it's packed with dust. So right now, if I had another power cord, this thing would probably be outputting. No hard drive found because the hard drive doesn't have power. So I'm gonna go get a power cord. Okay, I'm back. I got me my power cord for my monitor. Let's go ahead and sneak around here. Power up my monitor. I keep this little tube monitor on the desk. I don't know, I feel like it's more likely to pick up any kind of signals that these things put off without complaining about it. Weird syncs, that sort of stuff, I don't know. Little fan, big fan, that's a post. Probably it's a post. Look at that, GeForce FX54, excellent, woohoo! All right, yeah, no hard drive, CMOS checksum, memory testing, 256 megs of RAM, DDR2. What I saw on the board, Intel Celeron D, 3.6 gigahertz. That might be a dual core, I don't know. Let's go dig through my parts. I fit. Hey look, Pac-Man. Hey look, crap. Hey, Code 1 dispatch. That's going to come at some point. We got the root beer tapper. There's a dynamo cabinet. It was a Street Fighter. There's going to be a video on this too. All this content is probably going to come out in episodes per game. So maybe a little sneak peeks of Outrun. Cool. Maybe a little sneak peeks of future projects in each episode. But I think each episode should probably just be focusing on a game. Ooh, this one will fit in there too. Yeah, how about that? The one that says might be bad. That's good. That's probably good power supply right there. Don't question my logic. It's infallible. Infallible? It's perfect. Perfect logic. Okay. Off. Unplug. Lose something down that hole forever. Unplug power. Unplug power. So now we know this computer will output to the BIOS with just the motherboard power and the 4-pin power. Once again, I'm not gonna blow the dust off this yet. I'm not that foolish. Wait, yes I am. I've never played or worked on a pump it up arcade system. I don't actually know what this is going to do. This is just based on my experience with other stuff. But we're probably gonna get the game software. It's gonna come up and it's either gonna play, but not let you do anything because there's no buttons, or it's going to say unable to detect the thingamabob. Please do the stuff and quit being dumb. Yep, there we go. It's going to tell me that there's an error with the CMOS settings, which there was. It literally has no CMOS battery. It can't save any settings. It knows that it's got one hard drive, whatever. Default's loaded, sure, press F1 to continue, F1. We're continuing, we got the boot screen. All right, so we're gonna go clean this. We're gonna reinstall it. Are these all clips good? Yeah, all these clips are good. Woo. Sometimes you just gotta work with what you got. There. We're gonna jump start it again. All right, so this time I'm expecting output. F1 for bad CMOS, we know that one. Then I'm expecting to push F1. And I'm expecting it to load pump it up this time without it thermal throttle crashing. Free play, pump it up 0. Okay. I bought a working game. I blew that up. Here, smell this through the camera. You smell that? Oh, oh man, oh, that's actually really strong. Yeah, I blew this up, so that's my fault, okay? And I dropped it on the ground too. That's why the heatsink fell off. That's also my fault. Those two things are my fault. Aside from that, did I actually buy a working game? I think I bought a working game. That never happens, ever. You know, except for me breaking it twice before I even had a chance to plug it in. But, you know, well, okay. The second time was when I plugged it in. We're gonna go ahead and mount this power supply in here, find a splitter for the Molex to get the other I/O working, and then I guess go put it back in the cabinet and see if it's like responding the way I'd expect. So I'm just gonna have to sit down and like splice a bunch of wires together. I guess I'm just gonna show you guys the whole process, because I mean, it's interesting. Especially the way I do things, which is wrong. All right, so remember how I said I needed a little Molex splitter? Well, I struggled with that one. I found one. Look, this game's never gonna leave my shop. It's gonna sit in one spot forever. I'm not gonna solder these. It's power supply. If something stops working, it's easy to diagnose because that device doesn't get power. And it's very obvious, to me at least, when something like that happens. So I'm not too worried about that. When I do all of the control panel wiring, however, those I will probably, you know, the stuff that someone hacked through, that I'll probably take the time to actually reconnect everything and heat shrink everything really nice. Try to keep the factory plugs on it and everything. I don't need... there's like a special circle of hell for people that hardwire things that didn't need to be hardwired. There's the time and a place, right? So like, if it's easier to hardwire it and undo and redo that hardwire multiple times before it's easier to put a plug on it, yeah, sure. Just hardwire it. Use Wagos. Wagos are great, right? Then you can kind of have a quick connect, quick enough. I've taken a new approach to a lot of this. So most arcade guys will tell you, put a compact flash card in it. Got it. I completely understand that logic. Compact flash is great sometimes. But I've been having issues where a lot of the compact flash cards, I'm just gonna leave my might be dead on there. I've put a lot of compact flash cards and stuff that don't last very long. I mean, in theory, yeah, solid state memory should last longer, but like the ones you buy now are so crappy that you really can't trust them. They burn out all the time. And the compact flash adapters have even less or even more compatibility issues. So a lot of times when I replace these hard drives, I'm not doing compact flash. I'm putting 2.5-inch laptop drives in them. I guess you're still limited by the bus speed. Now this motherboard does have a SATA port, so when I go to do that, I'll probably use the SATA port on the motherboard. I would imagine it would boot fine, as long as you put the SATA ports into IDE mode, which I guess would also limit the bus speed. Yeah, so you're not getting any benefit anyways. Maybe seek time. Seek time would be a little better. So I want to blow air across that hard drive, and then also hopefully we get a little bit of air down to the GPU, which one day will burn out on me, I'm sure. Pump it up. Didn't even put the sticker on it all the way. Come on. Dynamo labels. Do I put it on? I guess I deserve it. I fixed it. I deserve to put it on. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I put it on? Ah! It's gonna fall off now. Pump it up. We got our edge connector kind of board thing that goes this way. We hope. That's the way that the memory of the wire is, and where the burnt connector matches the little splice. It's fine. It's fine. The connectors are exactly the same size. It's very likely just player 1 and player 2. If I get it wrong, it just does the wrong thing. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got our edge connector all the way to the end. I don't know what these wires are doing. Oh, you know what? I'm willing to bet we got player 1, player 2, like a control wire probably to the amplifier light controller thing, and this is probably for the top glass. Okay. So I got my fuses. 1.5, 2, 3 amps, 4 amps, 5 amps, 8 amps. There was a 7 in it. Yeah, without the CRT, a 5 should be fine. Thing is, you don't want to upsize fuses just because. Yeah, you don't want to upsize the fuse because if I put an 8 in it instead of a 7 and then it blows again, the next guy, who's probably going to be me, is going to look at a blown 8 and go, 8, that's a weird size. It probably should have been a 10. They're going to put a 10 in it, and then it's not going to do its job if someone does the dumb thing and puts the power supply in the wrong voltage. The good news is that because that fuse blew and that power supply blew, 240 by the way, right here. It's very unlikely I damaged anything in the cabinet. Not that there's that much damage in here. Basically, this power supply and this computer over here. Set the power supply back to 240. Very important. All right, go right there. Okay, where I can see the pins I'm going for. Turn the cabinet power on. Alright, I can see the pins I want. Lower my screwdriver through this tiny hole until I can see the tip of it. And touch those. There it is, right there. There we go. Fire it up. We might get game sounds this time. That'd be kind of fun. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Hey, I can see myself. Nice. Nice. CPU warning temperature. Set to 60. The lowest it goes. CPU fan fail warning. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to burn out the CPU. I mean, clearly it throttles properly, but system fan fail warning. No, I'll just let it cook if the system fan fails, as long as the CPU fan's going. CPU fan smart control disabled. That should make it run at 100%. Let's overclock it. Yeah, no, we're not overclocking this. Save and exit. Yes. All right. So this should now reboot. Replay. Oh! Yes! The neons work! Go to fix this wiring harness. I see 2 browns, 2 reds, 2 old. Okay, all right, they're paralleled. Okay. It's a reversible connector. It's designed to work both ways. Well, not actually. You can't actually flip it, but it is designed to be a mirror image of itself. So, yeah, so you got green, green, yellow, yellow, orange, orange, red, red, brown, brown. But the blue, the purple, the gray, the white, and the black are all, there's only one of each. I need to look up a wiring diagram to figure out why there's so many wires that are the same color so I can decide if this needs to be perfect, exactly 1-to-1 or not. I also need to go into the stupid pads and get the other side of the connector. I am really hoping. Oh yeah, let me just scratch that up. I'm really hoping there's connectors in here so I can take this off and just sit down at a bench and connect these. Look how bad that, so much work. This didn't need to happen. Wonder how long it sat in that place though. All right, let's see what this looks like. Oh look, the other end of the connectors. Wow. Okay, so I do not need to worry myself with which sets go where. I don't have to reverse engineer it because I have the other connectors here. I can literally just 1-to-1 put the wires back together. It's fine. I do need to make sure I don't get the wrong green to the wrong green though, probably. The thing is I don't know which side went to which. They might be mirrored images of each other or something. I'm not really sure. Not really sure, so I do need to look up the wiring diagram to see if it matters if I flip-flop the greens and then flip-flop the yellows and so on and so forth, but because I don't know if they are supposed to match this way or match this way, but I got all the reds and all the blues and everything, so like that's easy. So basically we're just making straight through extension cables where if you were to daisy chain these as extensions, you wouldn't get crossover down the line. Yeah, that's the way that should go. And actually over here they are extensions, so that's the way we're going to do it. So yeah, I can basically just plug it into itself and make sure this green wire is attached to that green wire. So on and so forth all the way down. I already have this, so we're just gonna use this to get this working. Alright guys, so I was going to do this off camera, but this started getting a little bit more interesting than I expected. In order to fix this, I have to get this out of the game. This wire right there. So I started taking it apart. Oh man, it's filthy. It's so bad. This thing got a ton of play. It hasn't had a deep cleaning in a long time. I'm just out on my sales floor right now, taking apart a Pump It Up dance pad. Try not to do that, but oh, there we go. Cool, that's what I was looking for. Oh, got the ground wire. Yeah, so each of these pads, it looks like, this is wild, has a fluorescent tube. Remember CCFLs? Anybody who built a gaming PC in like 2005 would have remembered them. You'd put these neon lights in your computer because RGB LEDs were still kind of expensive and hard to do, especially if you wanted UV. UV LEDs still suck. These are compact, cold compact fluorescent lights. And they have these little drivers. They're on high voltage. The other pad, all 5 lights were working. So that's cool. But very fragile. They were very dim though. So this is what they look like before I do anything to it. All right. I don't know what angle is going to look best on the reflection, but you can tell that that's very dirty, messed up. This, as it dries, when it's wet it looks shinier, but see, this is quite a bit better. And maybe down like that, just from cleaning it. But after I buff it, it should look real nice. Plastic, because, well, quite frankly, it's unlikely I'm going to have these out of the machine all at the same time ever again. So, like, yeah. So we are using some, it's actually an automotive product, and then after this we're going to bring it back down a little bit with some Novus 2. Alright, we are on day 3 of getting this Pump It Up restored. It barely fits in this room. I had to rearrange a bunch of stuff. We're going to try to fit it in this corner over here. The next step is I pulled out those wires right there, the connectors. We got to get that spliced back together, and then the marquee goes on top. And let's just test everything. We got the pads cleaned up yesterday. Saw most of that. These are all nice and shiny now. I haven't tested them completely yet. I'm just going to finish putting it together before I test any of it.
I just redid these.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to do like
Stay late and redo all your
assembly. Actually, heck yeah. Need my headlamp. Hold on. Definitely need my headlamp. Can't work without the headlamp.
Alright, probably should get another.
There we go. All right, let's check all of our connectors. Let's see. All right, did I ruin it? No. Some electrical tape would be in order. We'll do that next before I bolt all this together. All right, so that goes there. That's in enough, that's in enough, that's in. Those are all in enough. All right, cool. So all that's plugged in. See your dance move? Good.
Show me your moves.
Woo! Let's go ahead and turn it on. See if those lights up there work. Because that's what I don't know if those lights work. Let me know if they catch on fire, okay?
What?
They're not gonna catch them. That's a joke.
They're not on.
Okay. I flipped the switch. Oh, no, turn on. Ugh. It's always something. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it just took a minute. Okay. Oh. All right. Oh, hold on. I gotta ring the doorbell. Do all the lights work? On the bottom?
Yeah.
All of them?
Oh.
Whoa! All of them work. That's excellent. All right.
I want to make sure 1 flashes, 2 flashes, 3 flashes, 4 flashes, 5 flashes.
All right. It says to start. Oh, hold on. We gotta see if the speakers are working. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna read them all. It says easy for challenger, for remix for mania, easy for beginner. All right, I think this is called channel. So we're gonna go to now easy. Easy station. We gotta push the arrows when they come up, okay? This way. I'm sure.
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do it?
Yeah, I didn't.
We'll have to practice, huh?
Ah!
Yay!
Try next stage. Except when you go to school.
Screen's a little off center. If I get the TV remote, I can probably, auto center it or whatever. But what we want to do next, here, Nora, you can help me. We're gonna go into the test mode. Okay, we're gonna go to I/O test. Here, let's make sure everything lights up. All right, so we got all 4 there. Got all 4 there. All 4 there. All 4 there. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's do this. Need a light bulb. Light bulb. Look at all these extra screws. You're supposed to have a lot of extra screws when you fix something, right, Nora? That's how you know you did a good job? That's always been my understanding. There we go. GE refresh. It'll probably be very bright. Oh, there we go. Woo-wee! There it is. That looks better. So I just hit the record button to stop recording. And I I think it started. So I'm gonna say that what I just said again. All of our pads work, lights work, speakers work, everything on this guy works. We got all the plugs together and everything. As far as I can tell, the only last step is gonna be to connect all the wiring properly, bolt the pads together, that sort of stuff. Can't do that until I can push the cabinet against the wall. Can't put the cabinet against the wall until I move all these boxes and take that shelf down. So that's gonna be a problem for later. I'll be correcting that off camera. So I may or may not check back in once it's fully assembled, but that's it, guys. See ya!